We're going to talk a little bit more about Earth Day today, and we're going to start off with a brain pop about reduce, reuse, and recycle, and then we're going to talk about some ways that we can reduce, reuse, and recycle. Let's refresh the video.
Good job, Moby. We're doing our part to care for the environment. What is waste? Waste is anything you throw out and can't reuse. One person can throw away over 1,000 pounds of trash a year. Together, we make tons of waste. A lot of trash winds up in our landfills. Some waste is biodegradable, which means it breaks down in our environment naturally. A lot of waste is not biodegradable. It can cause a lot of problems and harm the soil, water, and air. But there's a lot we can do to help our environment. How can we reduce waste? When you reduce, you cut down or make something smaller. We can reduce by using less stuff and using only what we need. You can reduce how much water you use by turning the faucet off when you're not using it. A natural resource is something of value we get from the environment. Water, plants, animals, and soil are all natural resources. It's important to conserve or save our natural resources. Since natural resources power many of our homes and cars, we should reduce the amount of energy we use. We can turn off the lights when we don't need them. We can reduce the energy we use to cool our homes, and we can save energy by turning down the heater a little. We can also reduce waste by reusing items. How do we reuse? When you reuse something, you use it again and again. Items that you only use once are disposable and cause a lot of waste. It's much better to use items that you can use over and over again. Plastic bags can take hundreds of years to break down. We can use reusable bags instead. Instead of throwing away broken toys, you can fix them. You can also give away toys, books, furniture, and clothing you don't want anymore. Then they can be reused by other people. How do we recycle? When you recycle, you use materials from old items to make new items. You can recycle things like plastic bottles, cans, glass, paper, and even batteries. Aluminum cans and bottles can be recycled to make new cans and bottles. Steel can be recycled and used to make steel for buildings. Parts from old electronic equipment can be used to make new electronic equipment. The plastic from plastic bottles can be turned into rugs, shoes, clothing, and even playground equipment. Recycling saves energy and natural resources. When you recycle paper, you save trees from being cut down. It's important to care for our environment. We only have one planet, and it's up to all of us to take care of it. I think you can take that uniform off now, Moby.
Okay, so let's see here if we can go and fill in some ways that we can care for the earth. So I'm going to type in some ideas here. Hopefully you have some of the same ideas I do, so we can finish this together. So the first thing says reduce, and reduce means to make something smaller or to make less of something. And when we're taking care of the earth, we want to make less trash. So what are some ways that we can make less trash? Well, we can stop when we go to the store, stop using the plastic bags at the store. We can bring our own bags. So let's see if I can type in here, bring my own shopping, I need a space, shopping bags to the store. Okay, so that's one way we can reduce the amount of trash. Let's see here, what would be another way that we can make less trash? What's something else, think, that you can do that stops making trash? How about, this is something that people talk a lot about today, not using straws. So when you get like a soda from McDonald's or Burger King and it has a straw in it, or you go out to a restaurant and you get a straw in your drink, well, we use those straws just that one time and then the straws all end up in the trash. So if you don't use a straw, maybe you can just drink your drink right out of the cup and you don't need to use a straw. So we could say maybe no straws would be a way to reduce the amount of trash that we have. All right, so there's some ways we can reduce trash. Over here it says reuse. Reuse means to use something over again. So what are some things that you reuse, or how do you reuse things? Think about it. I know sometimes people reuse clothes or shoes, especially kids. Maybe they wear something just for a few months and then they grow and it doesn't fit them anymore. Well, there might not be anything wrong with your old jacket or coat or shirt or pants or shoes, except that they don't fit you anymore. So maybe you have like a cousin that's younger than you, or a younger brother or sister, or even a friend or a neighbor that's younger than you, and they might be able to wear those things. You could reuse them by giving it to them. You can also reuse toys. So maybe you have already done some of your Legos or some other toys that you have, and you've already played with them, but your friend really likes them. And you might say to your friend, hey, do you want to trade for a couple weeks? I can have some of yours and you can have some of mine and we'll switch. Now you have to check with moms and dads first about this. But I just did this at my house because we've been home for so long and not able to really go to stores or get other things. I've been doing puzzles with my kids. So we had a puzzle at our house that was all different kinds of dogs. But we did it. It was done. So my sister had a puzzle at her house that was all about boats. It had all kinds of boats and buoys and anchors on it. And they did their puzzle. So I don't have any other puzzles, and I couldn't go to the store and get one. So I traded with my sister. I gave her the dog puzzle and she gave me the boat puzzle, and we could each do a new puzzle. So that was a way for us to reuse something or to use something over again. We can also reuse the shopping bags that we put over here. If you bring your own bags to the store, you can reuse them, use them over and over again. And what about coffee cups or cups that you drink out of? If you go to Wawa, or your parents go to Wawa every day and get a soda or a coffee in the cup, and then they drink it and throw the cup away. And then the next day they use another one and another one and another one. Every time we are making trash by throwing those things away. If you bring your own mug or cup to Wawa or to the coffee shop or wherever you get your drinks, you can put your coffee in there, drink out of it, and then you take it home and wash it, and you use it over and over again. So maybe cups or mugs are something that we can reuse, we can use over and over as a way to not make as much trash. And then we have recycle. So let's see here if we can get recycle. Recycle means to use something again, but by not just reuse like we did before, but by making it new again. So usually when we recycle, it has to go to a recycling place where they are able to break the old things down and then make something brand new out of them. And things that we can recycle are paper, different kinds of paper and cardboard. You can recycle glass, so glass bottles can be recycled and made into new bottles. Some types of plastic, things that are made out of plastic, like when you buy certain kinds of food or certain things that come in a plastic container, there'll be a little recycling sign on the bottom that will say if it can be recycled. It can be made into something new, like maybe your bicycle helmet is made out of plastic. Well, that might be recycled from somewhere else. And some types of metal, not all kinds of metal, but some things made out of metal like cans and other types of metal can be recycled. So that means that they get made into something new. I'll see if I can find a video on recycling for a different day for us. But maybe you can look around your house, find something that you can do to reduce trash, find something that you can reuse or use again instead of putting in the trash, and find something that you can recycle, some kind of paper or glass or plastic or metal. All right, that's your job for today for taking care of the earth and learning about Earth Day.